I need to be healthy every day to survive it and go through the next chemo round and the next chemo round. So it's important that work was part of that, to keep my mind busy for 8-9 hours. And then I had to go back and face the reality. I had a goal, and the goal was to survive.
Research shows there is a significant connection between the ability to continue to work and cancer recovery. We can make work a better place for healing.
Learn more and sign the pledge at workingwithcancerpledge.com.
Kempire is brought to you by... Hey, y'all. What's going on, everyone? Hope everyone's having a fantastic Wednesday. This is a special live, a special hump day live, because there's just a few hot topics that I wanted to get into and talk about. Let me know if you can see me, hear me, all that good stuff. I was trying to add the lighting here, y'all, but I don't know. I don't know if this thing is working, but it's okay. We won't be here too long, but also, hold on, y'all. Do I have a napkin here? Let me just wipe off my camera. Look. Look. My breath, look, my hot breath in your face, right? Oh, there we go. That's a little bit better. What's going on, everyone? Hope everyone is having a fantastic Wednesday. Okay. Yes, view is tea. Okay. All right. To Foxy says, I miss your studio, Kempire. Well, you'll be strong. Look, you'll be strong. You could miss the content next. Look, Cynthia, you could miss the content next, because what I could do is just not record, just not go live. How about them apples, y'all? Look, how about them apples? She says, I missed the studio. Does the studio make the man? Does the studio make the man? Does the studio make the content? Just asking, wondering. Guys, do me a favor. Be sure to like today's video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. Don't forget the Kempire After Dark live show is returning to New York City on September 25th. Go get your tickets today if you haven't already. All right. Let me see what you guys are saying in the chat before we get into some of these stories. What's going on, everyone watching on Twitch? I see you. Wow, I'm watching Kempire while in New York City for the first time. Hey, Rainy Circus. Appreciate you being here. So you're here for the rain. Candace says, yay, Nene's back. We're going to get to it. Okay. Virgo Leo Cap says, Kempire on one today, ain't ya? I just started being able to eat. All right, let's first start off there. Okay. I just had my first actual solid meal in the last over 24 hours. Okay. My first solid meal. I had a colonoscopy today. All right. So you already know the colonoscopy part is one thing, but the prep is a whole other thing. All right. So I couldn't have gone live yesterday, even if I mean, I could have, but then you would have got a hangry Kempire. So I might be still a little hangry from yesterday, but I did eat some food. I had a nice acai bowl. Okay. And I might go live later on Patreon because I'm feeling better. I feel rejuvenated. I would like to fix this light situation, y'all. I really would like to fit this light situation, but it is what it is. The V-Life says the prep is terrible, but you guys can hear me. So that's the most important thing. You can hear me. Don't forget, you can hear this live in special episodes on the Kempire podcast. The reason why I'm even talking about my colonoscopy is because it's a reminder to all of you that might be of a particular age. Your doctor probably would recommend that you get your colonoscopy. Maybe they already recommended it and you haven't gotten it, or you haven't gone for your annual. I'll tell you this. My doctor actually first set me up. I guess it's automatic within their system. Set me up for at least invasive tests, but I would have to get that more regularly. But when I met with him, when I was in his office, he said, well, people of color are affected greatly by colon cancer. So I'm saying that to say, I would highly recommend going for the colonoscopy. A lot of people don't want to go for it because of the prep. I would say the hardest part of the prep was yesterday, towards like the end of the day, where I was just sort of like, okay, now I'm hangry. I don't have all the things that I necessarily needed because I wanted to load the Jell-O because you can have Jell-O. I was like, damn, I forgot to order the Jell-O. So I was having a lot of chicken broth yesterday, a lot of water, blah, blah, and then you start drinking the thing, and then you start going to the bathroom. Okay, I'm getting descriptive, but I'm just painting a picture for you. I have to say it wasn't that bad. I went for my colonoscopy. That was the easiest part. I felt a little out of it by the end of it, you know, when you're waking up. But they turned me to my side. Look, they turned me to my side. And they didn't even count. They didn't even do like a countdown, nothing. I felt like years ago I had to go and get one done. Years ago, like when I was in my 20s. And I felt like they did a countdown. I don't remember when I fell asleep. Now I kind of understand why Michael Jackson liked that. It was propofol they put me under. I was like, oh, okay, propofol. I kind of get it, Michael. I kind of get it. Especially if you have a sleeping problem. I don't have a sleeping problem, by the grace of God. But I was like, oh, okay, propofol. I feel a lot better because I wasn't even sure that I'd be able to go live this evening because right after you feel a little out of it. And my friend picked me up and brought me home. And even like I started to feel better as I got closer to my apartment. But when I first got out, I was like, hey. Hello. All right, but shout out to all the nurses and the doctors and the anesthesiologists and everybody that were, you know, helping with the process. Everyone I met was lovely at this facility. Okay, Miss Mellon said, "How was the day of prep?" It wasn't bad, honestly. During the day, I was fine. It wasn't until towards the end of the day that I was sort of like, oof. And I was tired, I was sleeping, but then I had to do the prep. You have to drink the concoction, and then you start, and then it's like, but overall, not bad. Now we just wait. Swoleston says, your friend looking at, yes, can I not have friends? Why would I have a man why would I have like one of my, a jump off or my man, look, a jump off, my man pick me up. I mean, if he was my man, why not pick me up? But what, I don't have, am I not allowed to have friends? Nelson, where have you been? Nelson the Virgo's watching on Twitch. I haven't seen your name in forever. Solison is laughing at herself now because she wanted it. Ree says, for my last colonoscopy, I had an all-female team. I didn't. It was a mix. I had a lot of women, but it was a mix. My doctor was male. The anesthesiologist was male. I hate that. The doctor that did the procedure was male. The anesthesiologist was male as well. So, yeah. Your man can pick you up, girl. Okay. Let me see. Kempire patients always talk about they slept after the MJ meds. Just make sure y'all wake up during my shift now. What? Huh? Kempire, would you let your sister be your caretaker since she's a nurse? No. Look, no, I didn't even ask her to pick me up. So what does that tell you? Look, what does that tell you? Anyway, guys, that's it. This is a reminder to you all to go get your colonoscopy. If you've reached that age, if you have stomach issues, if colon cancer runs in your family, first of all, go talk to your doctor about getting it, and then go get it. All right? And when I say the prep is the hardest part, it really is the hardest part, but it's not that bad. Okay, it's not that bad, especially if you have the Jello and you have all the things prepared for you. Okay. Maureen says, Kempire, I think you meant who picked me up? A friend. Okay. All right. Flora says, I got mine done. Good for you, Flora. My friend picked me up. And Miss Parker says, ladies, go get your mammogram as well. Just saying. All right. Anyway, I say all that to say, since we're talking about medical procedures, earlier today, I did a video talking about Perez Hilton. By now, you may have seen the story about Perez Hilton trying to unalive himself on TikTok Live. Who was there when Perez came onto my TikTok Live a few months ago? That was the first time I ever met him. First time I ever had a battle on TikTok. When I say battle, like the playful battle, y'all, we weren't arguing. So seeing this play out the way that it played out, it's just very sad to hear that this even happened. But we're talking a little bit about sepsis because a few months ago, he had sepsis, Perez Hilton. There's a video going around about what played out because he was literally on live stream. He was on live stream for over 30 minutes. And he had no clothes on. He was covered in, I believe they said blood, but I don't know if it really was blood. We don't know. And he was harming himself. A few months ago, he had sepsis. Okay. Since then, he had become really, really religious. So I said, I had heard from some people that sepsis can cause mental health issues. So I did some Googling and schmoogling. I want to kind of get into this. So sepsis can absolutely affect the brain and mental state, both acutely and in weeks to months after. Sepsis associated, I cannot pronounce this word, encephalopathology. Oh, I don't know if I pronounced it completely wrong. They said that sepsis-associated encephalopathy is common. The body's massive inflammatory response combined with low blood pressure, poor oxygen delivery, and organ strain can cause confusion, delirium, hallucinations, and agitation, even in people with no prior psychiatric history. So this might be what happened with Perez Hilton. ICU delirium is very common in critically ill patients, especially after long hospital stays, sedation, and disrupted sleep, all of which fit Hilton's own account of a 21-day hospitalization with fluids in his lungs, multiple procedures, and a secondary infection. Post-sepsis syndrome is well documented. Survivors frequently experience anxiety, depression, PTSD, panic attacks, cognitive impairment, brain fog, and emotional dysregulation for months after physically recovering. If you just joined us, guys, we're talking about Perez Hilton being hospitalized after having a mental break on TikTok last night. Look, TikTok mutes and bans people for a lot less within seconds. If you follow me on TikTok, and when we've gone live, we've gotten in trouble on TikTok for not even doing anything. The fact that this man was naked on TikTok for over 30-something minutes says to me, whoa, TikTok, like, what are you doing when it comes to the algorithm? That doesn't make any sense to me. But people are wondering what happened with him. And the conversation now is getting into sepsis and the effects of sepsis on the brain and your mental health. So add in a second hospitalization weeks later for a blood clot. This is what happened with Perez, requiring emergency surgery plus cardiac complications and 21 days in the hospital, near-death experience, and the stress of ongoing recovery. That's an enormous cumulative physical and psychological toll, layered on top of whatever else was going on in his life at the time. They said it's worth being cautious about diagnosing what happened during the live stream itself as one specific thing. And we're not trying to do that, but the clues are there. Outlets are using terms like psychotic break based on how it looked on camera, but only his medical team can say what was actually happening. Severe stress reaction, medication effects, an unrelated psychiatric episode, substance involvement, etc., are all possible and not mutually exclusive with post-sepsis effects. So it's medically plausible, though, that a severe sepsis battle plus repeated hospitalizations contributed to a mental health crisis later on, but it likely wouldn't be sepsis alone causing it in the moment months later, more compounding physical and emotional aftermath. Okay. Flora said, I had a horrible panic attack due to stress. Yeah. This is why you got to make sure you're talking with your doctor. Don't be fearful of saying to your doctor or coming across like, oh, am I being a hypochondriac? No, you're trying to take care of yourself. You're trying to take care of, just to be preventative. Sometimes people wait too long to go see the doctor. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that today in regards to Perez Hilton. And no matter how you feel, and here's the thing. I've seen so many comments about Perez Hilton and what he's done in the past, said in the past, and what he's done with other celebrities, saying that this is his karma and things like that. I'm not doing any of that, because here's the thing. No matter what, this is the opportunity for the people that he didn't give grace to, or you felt like he didn't give grace to. This is an opportunity for all of us to display the empathy that maybe he lacked years ago. That doesn't mean that we shouldn't feel anything for him just because maybe his behavior wasn't as respectful back then.
When I was diagnosed, all I wanted to do was get back to work. I wanted to get back to that trajectory that I was on prior to the cancer. I always felt like I had value. I had a place on the team to just be treated with dignity. It means everything.
Research shows there is a significant connection between the ability to continue to work and cancer recovery. We can make work a better place for healing.
Learn more and sign the pledge at workingwithcancerpledge.com.
Okay. So we wish him the best. He has, 3 children? 3 young children. According to reports, the children were not at home. He had recently moved to I think he moved back to Miami. He was living in Vegas at one particular point. So now he's living in Miami. All right. Amar says, I think he's dealing with some stuff. I agree, Kempire. And then he just had sepsis. We just don't know the combination of all the things that may have come to why he is feeling the way that he was feeling. But also, here's the other thing. Maybe it's not sepsis. Maybe it's not any of the compounding other elements in his life. Doing the work that we do, or even if you're a content creator, you're an influencer, being out here in the public. And one thing, you remember when I was on live with Perez several months ago, he was talking about constantly being on TikTok and battling and doing all these things. That's not good for your mental health either. Constantly being on social media, because the thing is with Perez, because he's been around for so long and there are a lot of people that don't like him, there's a lot of negative energy being sent his way. And he's always on TikTok live. That's not healthy. That's not healthy for your mental health. It's good for all of us to take social media breaks. I understand, some of us wake up in the morning, me included, wake up in the morning and immediately are looking at our phone. That's not healthy. That's not healthy at all. Exact Flora says, protect your peace and mental health. When Dr. Frida comes back on, we definitely have to talk further about this. We love it when Dr. Frida comes on. If you missed it, she was just here a couple of weeks ago. So be sure to check that out. She gave a lot of really great information on a variety of different subjects, from Nolan Wells to perimenopause, which has been affecting a lot of women in our community. So if you missed that, mods, can we post a link in the live chat? So be sure to check that out if you missed it. It's kind of dark here, y'all. I might have to shift because I don't have my lights on or anything like that. But it's okay. We won't be here long. All right. And it's only reason why it's like this right now is because it's raining here in New York City. All right. I am going to drop the call-in link. I'm not taking callers just yet, but I am going to drop the call-in link so that for those that wanted to share their thoughts on this week's episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta that didn't, because you remember we didn't take callers because I literally was still unpacking. I was already starting my prep for the colonoscopy, so I didn't want to stay long. So this will be your opportunity to share your thoughts on the season finale of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. But speaking of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, did you guys see the sneak peek of the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Roaring 20th, which had a premiere party yesterday? And I know what you guys are asking, was I invited? I don't think so. If I was, it didn't come in my inbox. But I'm okay because Nene Leakes also apparently wasn't invited. I don't know. I don't know that for a fact. What I'm saying is she wasn't there. I didn't see any pictures with Nene. Do y'all see pictures with Nene? And rumor has it, Nene wanted to be at the season finale of the Ultimate Girls Trip, but many said that she wasn't invited because Andy Cohen was going to be in the house. Okay, I'm going to say this. Andy Cohen was on the red carpet. He was asked about Nene being back. A lot of people in the comment section were like, ooh, his response seems like it's giving force. He's like, there's no way we could have done a 20th anniversary without Nene leaks. So here's the thing. Everyone that saw that clip of him talking about it said it felt like it was forced, it was rehearsed. I believe Andy Cohen does not care for Nene leaks. Can I blame him? She called him a crackhead and a racist. Can you blame? I can't even be, no matter how I feel about Andy Cohen, I can't be mad at Andy Cohen for being mad at Nene, but understands that he has a game to play. He has a game to play. And he knows the network wanted to include her because she's the most iconic housewife of all time. I'm not arguing with you guys. Argue with your mother. I don't always see it for Nene, but I'm never going to take away from giving her flowers. She's the most iconic housewife of all time. She is the GOAT. She is the GOAT. No matter how you feel about her, I'm not arguing with you. I'm not arguing with you. Nene Leakes is the GOAT. Where was she last night? Sidebar, I'm kind of glad they didn't invite me, because can you imagine me going to this event and I'm prepping for this colonoscopy and I'm hangry and all I can have is ginger ale? I mean, usually when I go to these events, that's all, but all day, I would have been real hangry at that particular point. And then I would have seen Andy Cohen, so I probably would have cussed Andy Cohen out. And like, why you block me, mother? You know what I mean? So it's probably for the best that I wasn't there. Okay. Maybe next time. So the sneak preview of Ultimate Girls Trip, I did do a recap of it. I played it for you guys and I talked about all the elements. I'm not going to talk about it here. However, I did want to mention it, and I wanted to mention the Ultimate Girls Trip premiere party. Everybody was there. Wendy Acefo was there. Giselle was there. All the OGs and Portia. The principal cast were there. And then a sprinkle of other housewives, including Shamia Morton Mwangi. She was in the house. Here's the thing. Normally I leave some of the exclusives with our Patreon baddies. And Patreon baddies, we could talk more later. Let me put up my little graphic so you guys can scan the QR code, okay? The network loves Shamia. So if people think that Shamia is not coming back, you remember the rumor was that Shamia was fired and Nene was replacing her. Andy came out and said that wasn't true. I already told you that's not true. I'm not saying it's impossible for her to come back at some particular point, but it won't be season 18. I think they want to wait. The higher-ups, the higher-ups want to wait to see people's reaction to Nene. So, of course, Nene's scene or scenes, because she gets a couple of scenes. She had that pre-conversation. This conversation was filmed before Nene came out and confirmed that she was going to be on Ultimate Girls Trip. Remember, I had an exclusive and I talked about this. I don't remember where I talked about it, but I talked about it. They filmed that scene. I'm not going to get into further my thoughts about the Nene and Portia of it all. It was a cute scene. It was a beautiful scene. Nene looked fantastic. I think Paris Shea dressed Nene in that scene as well. Paris is dressing all the girls. Shout out to Paris, because here's the thing, Paris. You went from Kelly, Kelly, because Kelly's a standard. Said no one ever, Kelly. Said no one ever. But at least Kelly brought Paris into the situation, and now Paris has been dressing all the girls, including Wendy Acefo. All right? My girl Chanel Welsh dressed Shamia. Shamia looked fantastic. Did Shamia do something to her face, y'all? I noticed that Shamia didn't look the same during Watch What Happens Live. I said, Shamia looks a little different. Shamia, don't mess with your face. You're a beautiful woman. Don't mess with your face. I don't think it looks bad, but I'm just like, did Shamia do something to her face, y'all? Feels like it. But, your body, your choice. I stand by that. Your body, your choice. Okay? Thank you so much, Miss Nubian, for the super chat. Miss Nubian says, was Nene invited to the red carpet? I saw a story about the son. Yes, I did include the story about her son in the video that I did yesterday, along with talking about the Ultimate Girls Trip sneak peek. I don't know if she was invited or not, but I will confirm with sources later. I'll say this, though. If Nene was invited, Nene would have been there. If Nene was invited to the premiere party, Nene would have been there. If Kempire was invited to the premiere party, I might be shaky. I may or may not show up. Okay. But if I know Brooke is going to be there, I'll show up because at least I know somebody there. Brooke and her mom. Okay. And a couple other folks. All right. But if Nene was invited to this premiere party, Nene would have been there. If Nene was invited to the other cities for Ultimate Girls Trip, she would have been there. I'm not fighting with anybody about this. I'm telling you that as a fact. I'm telling you that as a fact. All right? If Nene was invited, she would have been there. Miss 224E says she wasn't invited. If Nene was invited, she would have been there. Okay? The J says, I pray they actually invited her. If not, that's not okay. They didn't invite her. Look, I don't know that for a fact. What I'm saying is, if they had invited her, I do know that she would have shown up. So if the fact that Nene wasn't there says to me she was not invited. But I will say this. If Nene is asked about it, I wouldn't be surprised that Nene would be like, oh, I was invited, but I had a schedule conflict. Because Nene is not trying to burn the bridge with the network any further. The same way she got up there and did that video when it was announced that she was going to be a part of Ultimate Girls Trip, where it looked like a hostage situation. Just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Let me drop the call in first before I get into some of the other stories that I want to talk about. Guys, you're just joining us. It's a special live that we're doing. Special live that we're doing. I want to say thank you to our sponsors. Shout out to our friends over at MyFitnessPal.
FitnessPal moment. So I track my macros pretty closely, and there's one number I used to completely ignore: net carbs. And I'm not even someone doing keto or anything extreme. But MyFitnessPal Premium has net carbs tracking built in. And once I started looking at it, it changed how I thought about my carbs. And I like a good carb. Net carbs are basically total carbs minus fiber, which actually matters if you care about how your body processes what you're eating. I realized a lot of stuff I thought was high carb actually had enough fiber that the net number was way lower. I know. That one number shifted things for me. Not in some strict way, just in understanding what was actually going in. And that's really the whole thing. As I keep telling you, your nutrition is the foundation everything runs on. Your energy, your sleep, your recovery. And you can't just dial it in if you don't understand the numbers. Go to podcast.myfitnesspal.com and use code KEMPIRE, all uppercase, for 15% off MyFitnessPal Premium. More information on MyFitnessPal Premium and your discount will be available in the description. Thanks, MyFitnessPal.
And we're back. Shout out to MyFitnessPal for being a sponsor here on the channel. This is a special live that we're doing, guys. I hope that you have liked the video already. It's an easy, free way of supporting the channel. Yes, Ellie, I did see the breaking news. Sidebar, y'all. Amanda from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills released a statement that she will not return. I actually have that saved somewhere, or I did have it saved. Let me bring it back up. Yeah, I'm not surprised. And the fact that she's coming out now says to me that they are going to start filming at the end of this month. So filming for Beverly Hills will be underway. I'm not surprised. And at the same time, the only reason why Amanda had such a good first season wasn't because Amanda was fantastic. It was probably because everyone was so focused on Amanda just for no reason. You know what I mean? For no good reason. So hold on, y'all. I want to pull it up if I could find it again. My goodness. Hold on. There we go. Shout out to our friends over at Bravo Snark Side. They had a screenshot of this. If I could find it on their page. Where is it now? Oh my goodness. It was here. Now I don't see it. Where did it go? Oh, it's right here. It's the first post. So this is what Amanda had to say on socials in regards to her not returning. Danny says, I actually want her to come back. I mean, I'm always open to her coming back, to be honest with you, just to kind of see her without them constantly focusing on, is her business legitimate, blah, 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 blah. So Amanda says this: my time on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is complete. Saying yes to this show was one of the boldest, wildest, most clarifying things I've ever done. And I'm genuinely grateful. Grateful for the experience, the women, the viewers who saw me, rooted for me, challenged me, quoted me, misunderstood me, defended me, found my work, bought my books. Okay? Or simply watched me try to explain metaphysics in a room full of diamonds and side eyes. Okay? It was a ministry, honestly. But I came into this experience with an already full life. And right now, that life is asking for all of me. I should have read this in her vocal fry. My time on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is complete. Saying yes to this show was one of the boldest, wildest, most clarifying things I've ever done. And I'm genuinely grateful. Grateful for the experience, the women, the viewers who saw me, rooted for me, challenged me, even quoted me, misunderstood me, defended me, found my work, bought my books. I'm working on a new book right now. Or simply watched me try to explain metaphysics, manifestation, in a room full of diamonds and side eyes. It was a ministry, honestly. But I came into this experience with an already full life that I pay for. I make more than he does. You know, what he makes in a year, I make in a month. And right now, that life is asking for all of me. I'm getting married again in October. What? Wait, I didn't see your comments. What happened? What's going on? I liked Amanda on the show for what it was. I didn't think that she was greatly dynamic, but the way that they focused so much on her and the way she was able to navigate that and not break a sweat is actually really impressive. But what's also impressive is that she used the platform for what it was. She's not lying. A lot more people ended up going to read her book, including myself. But it makes me wonder what the new season of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is going to look like. But all right. Deja says, stop Kempire, the vocal fry and extras. What? I was trying to give you Amanda, the Virgo. Okay. All right. I've been saying that I need to drop this call. Let me just do that right now. Please and hold. Let me do this before I forget. As I'm doing that, guys, be sure to like the video. And don't forget, we got a lot of things coming up here on the channel and a lot of things coming up on our Patreon. So be sure to check that out. And I apologize for all the sound effects in the background. I'm not in my studio yet. It's going to take us some time to get back in the studio because I'm still unboxing everything. For those that have been under a rock, I moved. Okay. All right. But Patreon, y'all get all the tea, Patreon. Thank you, guys. Back to Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. They had the premiere party last night. As I said before, a lot of people came out to support. It was a big event. Andy Cohen, of course, was there. He made a big old speech about, these women sharing their lives. But speaking of Nene Leakes, so Nene Leakes was the sneak peek preview that they put out there. It was very obvious that they've been using the fact that Nene's going to be on this as the big promotion for the show. I'm not going to get into debate whether or not Nene should have been on it. She should have been on it. She should have been part of the principal cast. But I also understand why the network has a different relationship with Nene in regards to how they want to possibly work with Nene or not work with Nene. Okay? All right. So they had the premiere party last night, and a lot of things are coming out from the premiere party. A lot of interactions and whatnot. When I get more tea, I will let y'all know. All right. Miss Magic says, I didn't enjoy the Portia and Nene scene, to be honest, because you could tell they don't like each other anymore. I mean, here's the thing. I see what you're saying, but there are a lot of fans that were in the comment section that were like, oh my gosh, Nene and Portia, they're back together. This is amazing, blah, 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 blah. And I'm thinking to myself, did we forget what happened a few months ago? And I'm not saying that people can't get over things and people can't make amends, but girl, it was a few months ago, last year, when Nene was calling her out for, dogging her name to the Upshaw's production. Just saying. I talked about it in my video yesterday. So if you missed it, be sure to check out that video. All right. So they had the premiere party. The premiere party, everyone looked good. Giselle, I don't know what Giselle was wearing Balmain. And I was just like, Giselle, she's insistent on looking a hot mess. Like from the wig to the dress just was a little ill-fitted. I'm just like, what is going on? And some people will defend her and say, well, at least she's not going to jail for trying to keep up with the Joneses. You don't have to keep up with the Joneses in order to look decent, right? You don't have to spend a lot of money to look not ill-fitted. But okay. All right. But that's, that's just my thoughts. But Ultimate Girls Trip is premiering on Sunday. We will talk about it. I'll talk a little bit about it. Maybe we'll do a separate live to talk about it, depending. We'll see. Because, on Mondays we have maybe on Tuesday we'll talk about it. We have our big Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion recap happening. Part 1 of a 3-part reunion is coming. But we did talk about this week's episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. How would you guys rate it? Now it's been a few days since we talked about it and recapped it. How would you guys rate this week's episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta? How would you rate it? I still say that it was good, but it was just good. It wasn't fantastic. It told the story that needed to be told, but at the same time, I was like, it's a little lackluster for me. Anyone else? It's a little lackluster for me. And I have to say that the last couple episodes was like that. Bossy says on Twitch that the season was exhausting. I'm seeing Omar gave it a 4.35. Ambisi gave it a 7. I'm seeing 6s. Okay. Foxy gave it a 7+. I think the season has been good. I think the season overall has been good, but that's about it. Those last couple of episodes felt a little, I'm still not sure about Angela's storyline and what she was talking about with Omari. I'm starting to think that it really was what we initially thought it was, and now they're just trying to sugarcoat it because it's not making sense. And I always go back to what Angela's brother said in the park. Shamia. I was really shocked to see Shamia at the premiere party because, not to say that she wouldn't be invited, but to me, the people that were invited to this are people that the network really does like and enjoy. And this is why I said to you guys, Shamia will probably more than likely be back for another season because from what I've heard, the network really does like her. And it could be because on paper, she makes a great housewife. I mean, your husband doesn't show up. However, her husband was at the premiere party. I don't know. I saw Stacey was at Stacey Rush. Did Stacey get her breasts done? I'm just asking because I never really paid attention to her breasts, but her breasts were out at this not out, but you could see a lot of her breasts at the premiere party. And I said, wait, did she get her breasts done? I wouldn't be surprised because all these housewives, once they're on television, they start getting the work done because y'all start commenting on their bodies. I'm only commenting because her breasts were out at the party. Okay. So I was like, wait, was she always that well endowed? But okay. So Stacey was there. Who else was there of the housewives? Wendy was there. Wendy looked good. There's so much that if you follow me on Patreon, you follow the Club KEMPIRE podcast, the Apple Podcast subscription, I spilled a lot of tea when it comes to Wendy recently. And what you can expect. We'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see what the reunion, what the actual season edit will look like. Oh, Maureen says, I always thought Stacey got something done since after her first season. Maybe she did, and I didn't recognize it. Truth says, yeah, it looks lifted. All right. Foxy says, Brooke said that Gerald was very sweet in person. Would we think that Gerald wouldn't be sweet? I know people want to villainize him for some of the things that he said when it comes to this whole baby situation, but overall, he seems like a sweet person. I never looked at Gerald like a Simon Gabadia. I never looked at him like that. But, that's me. You know what? Not Pam the scammer looks good. She's been looking good. All right, Jocelyn says, why am I just seeing this? Seeing what, Jocelyn? OMG Seth says, why was Wendy there? Because the network likes Wendy too. I know you guys think that the network thinks like you do, but they don't, clearly, because Giselle's still employed. Okay? All right, the comments are moving way too fast for me, so I will move on. All right, I did drop the call link for those that want to call in and share their thoughts on the season finale of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. We also talked about Nene Leakes' major return. How are you guys feeling about that? Again, I feel like it's going to be, when it comes to Nene returning, I feel like it's going to be anticlimactic. Not in the fact that Nene doesn't bring it, but more so at the fact that I feel like it's going to be less than what people expected from Nene. Meaning that the network is not going to give you a lot, maybe one episode. Yes, you're going to see her in the premiere episode, but I feel like that's all we're going to get, especially because from what I've heard, she wanted to film more. She wanted to be in more, but I already knew they weren't going to do it. They're still punishing Nene for the lawsuit. I mean, part of them probably feels like you're lucky that we even allowed you back. Sidebar, did you guys see that Britt Edie says I'm ready finally. I'm ready finally. I'm ready to finally talk. But nobody cares. Britt Edie, you're not going to see this because you blocked me too. I don't understand why you blocked me. Look, I'm just like, I don't care. I'm not going to your page. I just went to your page trying to get a picture. And that's how I found out. So Britt Edie is saying, I'm ready finally. I'm ready. I'm finally able to speak. Here's the thing. I think the reason why Britt Edie wants to finally speak is because she feels like this will help her lawsuit against the network. Britt Edie, nobody cares. Look, Omar said it too. Nobody cares. And honestly, I feel like you waited too long. But at this point, no one cares. But okay. Okay. Exactly. The Jay Kofi says that Britt waited too long to speak. Here's the thing. She has a lawsuit with the network. She's going through a divorce. She also needs the money because one of the recent updates with her divorce is the fact that she's saying that her estranged husband is not paying the bills, and he's supposed to pay the bills. He makes more money than she does. Because I think she says she's unemployed. So, okay. Like, okay. All right. Here you go, Faith. Faith says, colonoscopies are not recommended for elders such as myself. Anyway, it's good to fast. Kempire. Here's the thing. I'm not telling you to go get a colonoscopy. I'm telling you to go to your doctor. Period. I'm not telling you to go get a colonoscopy willy-nilly. Go to your doctor. Okay, I'm gone. Please understand, I just had my first meal, so I might still be a little hangry. Okay? Y'all lucky I'm even live right now. I was like, I'll go live tomorrow because the doctor was like, take it easy today. All right? Not me still working and not taking it easy. T says, but getting a colonoscopy is a good idea, though. Here's the thing. You only get one because you spoke to your doctor, and if your doctor recommends it, go get one. I'm not telling you to just go willy-nilly, show up at the doctor's office, I'd like a colonoscopy. No, I'm not saying that. Go to your doctor and see what your doctor recommends. First, you have to go to the doctor anyway. All right? Swallow said, this live is cracking me up. I'm glad that you cracking up. I'm about to crash out like Shamia did in Scotland. All right? T says, I need y'all to stop stressing Kempire out. Exactly. My gosh. I'm just trying to hear. I'm just trying to entertain y'all. And y'all just hear them poking at me. Y'all just hear poking at me. Okay. Y'all. Dema says, what? Not that. All right. Anyway, I've digressed. Did I talk about the things wait, let me go look at my little list of things that I wanted to talk about. Guys, as I'm doing that, let me just say shout out to our sponsors for today. We couldn't do this without our sponsors. If I could find my sponsors, where are my sponsors?
This episode is sponsored by Vinted. So if you've been following along, you know I'm in the middle of a move right now, and nothing makes you confront your own closet like packing it into boxes. I found pieces I haven't touched in over a year, maybe 2. Stuff I've kept telling myself I'd find an occasion for. And at some point during this move, you just have to be honest with yourself. That's not clothing, that's clutter. And don't nobody love clutter. Instead of just donating everything or letting it sit in a bin at the new place, I'm actually about to start listing some of it on Vinted. Vinted is a secondhand app that makes it easy for everyday people, not resellers, just people like me and you, to sell pre-loved fashion and actually earn something back for it. From what I've seen, listing is genuinely simple. A few photos, a quick description, and it's up. And once something sells, Vinted generates the prepaid shipping label for you. So there's no separate trip to the post office trying to figure out packaging. That's honestly what makes me feel like that I'll actually follow through this time, instead of letting the pile sit there for another month. That's the part that really got me though. There are no seller fees. So whatever pieces sell for, that's what you keep. Every dollar, which in the middle of a move with hundreds of other expenses, feels like a genuinely useful way to make some of this decluttering pay for itself instead of just being a chore. So, have you looked in your own closet lately? If there's stuff sitting in there you know you're never wearing again, download the Vinted app for free and start listing. With no seller fees, you keep every dollar you earn, and for a limited time, enjoy free shipping in the US on Vinted. I'll let you know how my own closet clean out goes. That's Vinted. Download the app today. Okay, real talk. The last couple of months have been a lot. I'm in the middle of a move, content hasn't slowed down, and somewhere in there, my actual eating habits took a nosedive. Takeout, skipped meals, the whole thing. And at a certain point, you realize your obligations don't pause just because your routine fell apart. So I've been trying to get back to actual, real food without adding one more thing to manage. That's where Factor comes in. Factor makes chef-crafted, dietitian-designed, ready-to-eat meals so you don't have to choose between eating real and just getting through the day. Every Factor meal is designed around what actually supports a healthier lifestyle and nothing that doesn't. And when you're in the middle of a move, like I am, this is the only one that really gets me. Meals are ready in 2 minutes, no prep, no cleanup. So even on the days when your schedule is completely out of control, eating well is still something you can actually pull off. My go-to lately has been the salmon. Genuinely didn't expect a heat and eat meal to taste that good. And I'll throw in one of the protein shakes on days I'm running out the door. It's made eating well feel doable again, instead of one more thing on the list. I use Factor and you should too. Let's eat real. Head to factormeals.com/Kempire50off and use code Kempire50off to get 50% off and one free breakfast item per box for 1 year, while supplies last until October 31st, 2026. That's code Kempire50off at factormeals.com, Kempire50off at factormeals.com. See website for more details.
Ooh. Oops. There we go. I had to get a little light, y'all. All right. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. This is a special Wednesday live hump day. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. All right. Now let me play for you. Oh, before we get to that, let me say thank you for some super chats. Paise? Or Pisces? Is that how you pronounce it? It says, we should all only watch the episodes with Nene. Well, the premiere episode and the Atlanta episode, unless they drag out the Atlanta episode, she didn't film in any other cities that I know of. And she was not at the premiere party. OMG Steph, thank you so much for the super chat. OMG says, I feel like Bravo is only using her for ratings and intention for Ultimate Girls Trip, releasing the first sneak peek, and it just happens to be Nene. They know what they're doing. Andy sounded annoyed when asked. I don't think he was annoyed. It definitely sounded forced in regards to Andy. Can I find the clip? Does anyone have the clip? I don't know. I saw it on X, but if I can find it, I'll play it for you guys. It definitely felt forced. It felt rehearsed, but I'm not surprised. At the end of the day, he's about his money. He knows the network wanted to include her because how do you celebrate 20 years without Nene Leakes, the ultimate housewife? But she also called him a crackhead and allegedly and a racist. Can I blame him for not liking her? They know what they're doing. Andy sounded annoyed when asked. Probably was. Look, probably was. Mr. Melon Magic, thank you for the super chat, says, this season I give an 8. The last 4 seasons sucked. So do you guys agree with that? Do you think that this season was far better than the last couple of seasons? Virgo Leo Cap says, Cyborg, did you know Carlos King is 5'8"? Thought he was taller. Big personality. Ain't you like 6'1" Kempire? Sure, we'll go with that. we'll go with that. I'm taller than Carlos, though. Speaking of Carlos, did you guys see what Carlos said on social media? And y'all fall for it every time. When Carlos is trolling you guys, and when I say trolling, I'm not saying that he doesn't believe in what he says, but I know he specifically says these things to garner attention in people's conversations. He compared Giselle Bryant. He said that Giselle Bryant is to Potomac what Nene Leakes is to Atlanta. And I'm sure he's going to have a big conversation about it on social media. He's going to outline it. I'm not going to say that Giselle hasn't been important to Real Housewives of Potomac, but she's also been almost detrimental to it. If I'm going to be honest with you, she's been almost detrimental to that franchise. But I just feel like every time he comes out with these hot takes, not to say it's his opinion, but I feel like sometimes it's motivated because he's trolling the world. He wants people to be like, Carlos, shut up. That's not true. There's Karen Huger. I would definitely say that Karen Huger is the Nene Leakes of Potomac. If we had to have a Nene Leakes there, because what iconic lines can we say about Giselle? There are tons. Even in her darkest hour, Karen had iconic lines. I'm Thomas Jefferson concubine. Lit. That's just from the last year. We didn't even go all the way back. Clink and clank. Don't drop the soap. And I'm not taking away from Giselle because I liked Giselle in the beginning. Giselle kind of jumped ship for me probably season 5. It was probably season 4, season 5. And she just has not returned. She has not returned. That part, come on, hold on. Where is it? These comments are moving fast. April says, Karen, you have to make millions to owe millions. That is the Nene Leakes of Potomac. I can't say this. I'm not going to say that Giselle isn't important. If anything, Giselle is probably more like a Sheree. But even Sheree has more iconic lines. Okay? Ms. Melvash says, Kemp, I never liked her. No, I will always say there was a period in the early years of Potomac that I liked Giselle. It shifted a lot in recent years. It shifted a lot. Oh, that part, Joy says, let's be clear. Another iconic Karen line. Let's be clear. There's a story about Giselle and Karen that I want to talk about, and I'll probably talk about it during my live show. I got to get more information about it, though, because once I tell this story, I need to have a conversation with my attorneys before I tell this story. September 25th, get your tickets. The live stream is available. Go get your tickets today. I probably will go live later on this evening. I'm not telling the story then. I will go live this evening on Patreon. If you're not a Patreon baddie, I don't know what you're doing. There is a free trial. If you're a member of this channel, go to the post tab and check out the discounts that I'm making available to members that are members here on YouTube. All right. What else did I want to talk about? April says, dang, not the attorney. The situation that I heard about, I'm just like. Plus I have to get more information. All right. If you haven't liked the video already, like the video. It's an easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. I'm behind on some of my shows that I've been watching, but I did watch Married at First Sight. Have you guys been watching Married at First Sight? Who do you think is going to make it as a couple? We already did a video, what was it, last week, talking about Sean. Is it Sean? The black couple. Here's the thing with editing. It's hard for me with Married at First Sight because there are moments where you feel like, oh, this couple's going to make it. And then by the end of the season, you're like, I don't think they're going to make it. But Sean and I can't remember her name. There's speculation out there about him and what he likes. Okay. But they had an up and down relationship throughout the season. Not surprised because it never seemed like she was attracted to him. But by this week's episode 9, or last week's episode, I was saying to myself, is she playing along like the lady on TikTok played along with Sean? Well, she didn't say Sean's name, but played along with the guy that she felt like wasn't necessarily straight. Is this woman playing along so she can stay on the show too? Okay. I don't know. But I'm watching. The other person that I feel is not being authentic and is playing games on this show is Nick. Because and I also feel like they're trying to make it work, but not because they want each other. But even the woman that he's paired with makes me feel like, is she, like she's making so many excuses to make this relationship work. And then when they meet in front of the experts, I'll put experts in quotes, meet in front of the experts, it's like they're placating to the cameras, placating to the experts. Right? Gina says Nick and his wife are annoying. I believe Nick because he's been on reality television so much, and I know that's now that's the storyline. Is he just here to be on reality television? I don't think it's a storyline. I think he is just here to be on television. They don't like each other. They don't have chemistry, but they keep making excuses like, oh, I'm not that warm of a person, and da da da. Nick, when he's in his confessionals, it's going great. I think we're getting somewhere. Are we watching the same thing? Again, we're watching an edited version of the show. But are we watching the same thing? I don't know. I was confused. I was definitely confused. Yeah, exactly. Kendra says, is Sean the guy that a lady asked, where's my groom at the altar? Yes. That is the one. Okay. Wait, Mr. Melon Magic says, Kempi, you and Brooke need to get on the show. Brooke and I are not desperate to be on reality television. People that fake the funk to be on reality television will do something like that. Brooke ain't trying to be on reality television just to be on reality television to be like, oh, here I is. And neither am I. Because we could have both been on there already. Just saying. Miss Parker says, Nick's wife is also looking for something to be wrong with him. Just wait until you get further into the season. And aren't I further into season? Because I watched I think all the episodes. I even watched House of Dragon this week. Lord have mercy. What in the situation's going on? That situation with Mecca. How do you guys feel about Mecca and his wife? I mean, they seem like they could be really good friends. I don't know. Okay? Look, I don't know. At first, it seemed like they had a lot of chemistry. But again, we're watching an edited show. Sometimes the way that they gear things is to, even if there's no issue there, they want to make an issue, be an issue. Okay. All right. Now you mean Becca. His name is Mecca. Okay. Mecca is immature. A lot of men are immature, unfortunately. A lot of men are immature. Amara says that Courtney is annoying. Ooh. It's Mel says, Married at First Sight couldn't afford me. In the words of Portia, they will have to pay me more money for that. Okay. Shar Chasm says, Mecca is damaged and is hiding. I did like where the couples did group therapy together because everyone was holding each other accountable. It's always funny when people with their own problems have a lot to say to you. I'm like, really? You have something to say about me? Joy says, I always love the name Mecca. Me too, actually. Oh, Omar says that he only likes Caucasian women. Is that true? Did I miss something when I was watching this? Uh-oh. Has he never dated a black woman before? Uh-oh. Married at First Sight strikes again. Married at First Sight strikes again. I didn't even plan to talk about Married at First Sight, but I've been watching. I can't say that used to be one of my favorite shows, but I don't know. I don't know about these experts. I usually like the guy that's one of the experts. I usually like his other podcast where he's just interviewing people. Because remember, he's the guy that interviewed PK. Remember that interview? And he's from Married at First Sight UK. I don't know how I feel about him on this, though, to be honest. Why doesn't the man bathe? Wait, why doesn't the man... Oh, damn, the comments are moving so fast. Why is it moving so fast? There's not that many people in the room. Adam gives the Libra man, Lord have mercy. Yeah, didn't we find out that Sean takes a whole bath but without soap? I'm like, oh, Lord. Swolison says, I would be embarrassed to do couples therapy with a group of couples. It may be the Jamaican in me. No one needs to know what we're going through. I mean, 100%. But if you sign up for reality television, this is what you signed up for. You're already going against what you would normally do if you're signing up for reality television. So I first of all, would not be on reality television if I didn't want to share my relationship. Never mind doing group therapy with everybody. Okay? Not a bird bath. Basically, I feel like a bird bath is cleaner than what apparently he's doing. That makes me wonder if he smells. All right. Let's get into some callers, guys. If you remember the channel, I did drop the call. Didn't I drop the call and link on the... Oh, wait, before we get into that, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is coming back soon. And the girls have been acting up, especially after Whitney. I mean, Whitney hasn't confirmed that she's separated from Justin. Has Angie confirmed that she's getting a divorce and she's separated? I remember there were reports out there, but I haven't seen an official report from Whitney. Well, this is what Lisa Barlow had to say on the red carpet of the Ultimate Girls Trip premiere party last night.
Cass is getting divorced yet. Separation is I think that's a window to either repair or cause more damage. So I think that's a choice. I think for me, the biggest thing is last season, I had a really hard lunch with John. And in the moment, it felt like the easiest lunch, like normal business partners, like best friends, husband and wife, having a conversation. When I walked it back, it was really hard for me. And I think that propelled us to have different conversations to strengthen our marriage. And, I'm lucky I got to celebrate 23 years of being married, 25 years together. And we can all make choices to make our lives better or harder. And we all know what's good for us. So we support our friends, colleagues, anybody in positivity around their life. So whatever those positive changes are, we're supportive. Well, no one on my cat.
Wow. So that's what she had to say about it. I mean, I have to say that was actually a nice way of saying things, even though both her and Meredith kind of made shady remarks after the story came out about Whitney's separation. But again, I don't think Whitney has confirmed that. But I told you at that reunion, I felt like that already told us a little bit about what's happening, what we could see when it comes to Whitney's storyline next season. And here we are. We are getting this story leaked to Page 6 that there's a separation. But okay. All right. On that note, before we get to the callers, I want to say thank you to our more sponsors here on the channel. DraftKings is here.
Slot fans, the wait is over. Lightning Link is available online for the first time ever, and DraftKings Casino has it. DraftKings Casino is your home of a Lightning Link. New casino players can play $5 and get 1,000 spins, including 500 Lightning Link spins. That's 50 spins a day at varying values for your first 20 days. Strike now to claim your offer. Download the DraftKings Casino app and sign up with code KEMPIRE. Then spin Lightning Link high stakes anywhere, anytime. The crown is yours in partnership with DraftKings Casino. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. 21 plus, physically present in Connecticut, Michigan, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia only. Void in Canada. Eligibility restrictions apply. Non-withdrawable spins issued as 50 spins per day for 20 days. Valid for select games only and expire each day after 24 hours. Spins values vary. See terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos. Ends August 23rd at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time.
Okay. Shout out to all of our sponsors. More information on our sponsors will be available in the description. Thank you, Kendra, for the super chat. Let me shimmy. Kendra says, I may be the only one, but I always felt like Nene's most redeeming quality was Greg. A lot of housewives' families are the main characters because they humble them. And it is greatly needed when they become one entitled. We saw Nene become entitled and Greg was still around. Remember when the entire cast were like, she's too big for the show kind of thing. Remember, I don't know if it was just Greg, because I felt like even with Greg around, she was the same Nene. Tish, thank you so much for the super chat. Let me shimmy. Dema Scissor. This is my contribution to the studio sesh. Stay tuned. Thanks, Tish. Thank you guys so much for all the support that you give. Even by just liking today's video is a big support. So don't forget to like today's video. And don't forget, you can hear our live recaps and special episodes on the Kempire podcast. Subscribe today if you haven't subscribed already. All right.
People at work supported me while I was going through treatment by not treating me like somebody who was going through treatment. Treatment sucks. Cancer sucks. Being engaged with work really helped to, I just knew I was going to beat this thing.
Research shows there is a significant connection between the ability to continue to work and cancer recovery. We can make work a better place for healing.
Learn more and sign the pledge at workingwithcancerpledge.com.
All right, let's get to some callers. I did drop the call link for members on the post tab, and I dropped the call link in the live chat. I would drop the call link in the live chat. Again, y'all real quiet because every other day y'all want to talk. But Lee's backstage. We're going to bring up Lee next. Lee, what did you want to share in regards to anything that we talked about from Real Housewives of Atlanta and more?
Hey, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Congrats on your new move.
Thank you.
So the only thing I wanted to say about this season is that I actually really enjoyed it. I've actually watched it maybe 5 times, like from episode 1 to like the latest one.
Wow.
Well, not the latest one, maybe like, before Scotland, I probably watched it about like 5 times because it's just so good. It's like, it's fun. There's drama, but it's like not too serious. I'm actually I want to try and understand Shamia's side so bad. So that's probably why I've been watching. Like, I'm really trying to understand it. I don't, but I just feel like there's also something there that we're missing. And I want to believe that there's something there that we're missing. So maybe that's why I keep watching. But I do have to say, I think I've said this before, I 100% blame that on the producer side. Like the way how Kelly's story does not match up, the way how the Shamia is acting doesn't match up. Like she's saying that Gerald really wants a son on the show, but then in interviews she's saying it's her who really wants a son. So the producers need to bridge that gap. Yeah, when she was on Carlos King, she said, I'm the one who wants the So I'm like, okay, but I feel like on the show, since she is presenting her life like a reality show, it should be up to the producers to really get the truth out. So if something's not making sense, why are they not asking those questions? Because it's just causing more confusion for the viewers. But all in all, I can't wait for the reunion. And I'm really excited for Nene to come back. Well, in some capacity, she's back. So I feel like that's all we can ask for right now. And then hopefully in a few years, she's fully back. Or maybe friend of like Cynthia. I think she could really do good in that role.
Most definitely. I could see that. All right. Lee, thank you so much for calling in.
Have a good one. Bye.
You too. All right. Angel's backstage. Let's bring up Angel next. Angel, what did you want to share about the things?
Happy Wednesday.
Hey.
Let me start with Married at First Sight, since you just talked about that.
Mhm.
So the episodes so far have been questionable. There are about half the couples I know are not going to make it. But going back to our live when we talked about plaid pants, now that you're on episode 9, I think it could be either Sean or Mecca, because I sent you that. I sent you
Yes,
that pic
I
from the
know. I
screenshot of, yeah. So after group therapy, they're both hiding a lot. I think Sean has tons of insecurities. We won't even talk about the hygiene of it all, because as a grown ass man, he should be ashamed of himself. But Mecca does have trauma and issues in a mistrust of women because of his mother and his stepmother. So I think he looks at Belle more like a friend, and I know that marriage is not going to make it.
Yeah,
in
they
my
do have
opinion.
but it's like a good friend. Like I can see them being friends for a long time. Like they have a good vibe.
Yeah, I think this will bond them forever, and they'll be lifelong friends, and they'll have something to talk about to their spouses in the future. But this is not their end all be all marriage. I have a great story to tell. And then as far as Atlanta goes, the finale, after watching it a second time, I lowered my score down to a 6, but I will say that I give the season overall a 8. And that's probably on a curve because the last 2 seasons were trash. But I think the cast is becoming cohesive at this point, minus the Shamia and Portia drama. But since Shamia and Portia were in the same room last night, I assume that they'll be able to carry forward until another blow up happens next season, which is inevitable.
Do you
Because
think so?
we still need to know. Yeah. The way Portia talked in her live the other day when her and Drew were hawking wigs, Portia said, once you're a hater and you're blocked forever. And even though she unblocked you and reblocked you, we know Portia and her truth telling are not the best, but I believe that her and Shamia, there's always going to be bad blood, especially with both of them having their mothers in their ears. There's no way around it. It's going to come to a head again. And then after next season, someone's going to have to make a decision. Is Shamia going to exit gracefully, or is Shamia just going to be terminated?
But I told you, I feel like from what I've heard, the network likes her.
The network likes her, and being terminated may be a different path. It may be a Shamia spinoff. Maybe her and Gerald will get the show that Portia wanted with her House of Lies. Who knows?
A spinoff for Shamia?
Yes, she's boring as all know what, but Candy was boring as all knows what, and she had people around her who made the show.
I don't like. Look, here's the thing. I am not a Candy stan. I know some people will say otherwise. Candy wasn't a housewife. I wouldn't say that Candy was boring, because there are plenty of moments where Candy's quotable. Unlike a Giselle, yes. Candy is quotable. But Candy also had a lot of side characters in her life that made her.
Which helped. Mm-hmm.
I can't say the same.
I could watch Mama Joyce all day. I really could.
Mama Joyce, the aunties, Aunt Bertha. Mm-hmm. Come on. Y'all got to stop with that Candy was boring.
Well, she had a great supporting cast.
Oh, well, damn. All right. Okay. But so how are we going to do, but what does Shamia have?
Shamia has personality and tenacity, and she needs to learn boundaries on when to stop twerking in business meetings. But besides that, Shamia is very likable when she's contained.
Really?
Yeah, that's a no.
Can you contain that booty?
She can't. That outfit can't. Her attorney couldn't contain his eyes, because you can't wear that to an attorney's meeting.
Do you want to see Kelly come back? In live chat, answer this question. Do you want to see Kelly come back? Do you think Kelly's coming back?
I think based on what Andy said, Kelly is coming back, just because he said this is the cast. And yes, with Kelly being able to bring her daughters back in the mix, I'm good for a good redemption story. If she can be honest like, and how she's halfway being honest now and let go of the whole Jarvis of it all, I'll give Kelly one more season.
What if she brings back Jarvis and it's still Jarvis and we can't see his face?
Then I want Jarvis to make sure she gets fired immediately. Because Jarvis is AI. Andy.
Not AI. We saw Jarvis at the party.
That was the hired actor who was hired to play Jarvis.
Well, damn. If you got to do all of that. All
He
right.
either hired someone to pay Jarvis or Shamia is really a madam and that man cannot show his face. It's one or the other.
Okay. Anything else that we talked about? How about Amanda leaving Real Housewives of Beverly Hills?
I saw that coming, and her saying thank you for buying my books was a total shot at Bose because no one's going to buy anything Bose is selling. And we won't even watch her for free on that Jason Lee interview. So
I didn't
waste my time either.
If anything, I saw people talking about how she mentioned Garcelle and the reason why Garcelle left. Garcelle told us what the reason why she left. Just saying. All right, Angel.
Bose looks foolish every time. You should probably just stop opening her mouth.
Yeah.
And she just needs to hide out and figure out what to do because corporate America is no longer a door that's open for her either. That door is closed.
All right. Carolina says, OMG, I liked Amanda. Yeah, Amanda won't be coming back. She already made the announcement. I read it for you guys. Angel, is that it? I'm going to let you go.
That is it. I love the view, Kempire, even in portrait style. Enjoy the new spot. I'll see you on Patreon. Bye, buddies.
Bye, not in portrait style. Not how Rita B fulfilled. I mean, if y'all could see the real view, it is very good. Excommunicado backstage. We're going to bring Excommunicado up next. Excommunicado, what did you want to share about all that time we talked about?
Why did you just start breaking up? Can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, I think it's better now. Because I was laughing at your conversation with, I think it was Angel that just left.
Angel. Mm-hmm.
I was laughing at your conversation with her when you said they need to stop calling Candy boring.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you remember a few weeks ago, I asked you what you think the season would have been like if it was Candy that came back instead of Portia. And you remember what you said?
Boring. But here's the thing. The reason why I say that is because I'm not saying Candy's tenure on being Real Housewives of Atlanta has been boring. I feel like Candy coming back now, it wouldn't be the same. I felt like Candy should have been left Real Housewives of Atlanta. That's why she became. That's why you have to leave at the top and not to the point where people are like they're already over you.
Yeah, I understand that. And personally, I don't want a Candy to be back. I don't want a Candiace to be back because I feel like you guys you've done this, you've been great at it. Look forward beyond this, then come back to the rat race and be running in there. So I feel like they should just go further, progress their career. So I asked that as a hypothetical question because I feel like Candy is another person who was more of a real human on the show as opposed to someone who just plays for the reality game. So I feel like that is also part of Shamia's problem. She wants to make real friends. She wants to be a human. She wants to show like real emotions and real self rather than just be politically correct and create that image for reality. So I feel like, okay, if there was someone else who was doing that and they could connect on that, the cast might be a bit more balanced than everyone just playing reality and one person is playing the real human in the cast. But beyond that, though, for Angela and Amari's situation, I'm not sure. But for me, the way I see it, I feel like if the queer conversations we already had in the house, then Amari and her girlfriend would probably already be known to her siblings already by now. So if that was the case, the marriage wouldn't be a big deal to be holding back to have a big discussion about or to be a big reveal to the kids if
so you're
they already knew that.
You're confused by Angela's storyline this season.
Yeah, it doesn't. So I didn't want to jump on the bandwagon and feel like, okay, yeah, she's homophobic or something, but it doesn't make sense, because if we are saying, oh, you need to have that conversation with your brothers, and Amari is hesitant about that. If they already knew she had a girlfriend, she wouldn't be so hesitant about that. So that tells you that, okay, this has been kept away from them, and why that would have been, most likely is because it's not a conversation that is already flowing in the house already. That is not a norm in the house per se. That's how I see that. For Nene's comeback, like I feel like Nene would be great. It would be great to have her back on Atlanta, but the same way I felt like Kenya and Cynthia do feel kind of out of place with this cast. I feel the same way, but about Nene, she's outgrown this cast. This cast is like
even with Nene, even Nene showing her midriff in this trailer for the Ultimate Girls Trip, you still she feels out of place.
She looks like great. She looks great. Yeah, she looks great. But my issue is, how is it gonna look with a Nene beefing with someone like a Kelly? That would look like bullying. Yeah, and with a couple of other people, and a lot of people would definitely take jabs that are like, oh, you are too old to be doing this. And also, we forget that Nene's days was part of the old days where a lot of things that were said on reality TV were not politically correct. So if she goes into being a natural self, she might say things that will put her in trouble, and Bravo will be all the merry about putting it out there to further just put her in a place. So what we would get, and also I feel like she might also not be as witty or as the Nene that we used to get might not be the same one that might come back, and it might disappoint fans. And Bravo will be glad to put that in your face, like, okay, this is what you wanted, this is what you get.
But what if we see on Ultimate, because Ultimate Girls Trip, maybe this is what the network is intentionally doing. What if you do see that same magic on Ultimate Girls Trip?
Then put on a different show outside of Atlanta. Create a show create a show with a couple of other people who are who are peers. Because I don't know if Nene would. Yeah, she might do it for the money and for the entertainment game, but I don't know if she would really feel comfortable sitting down and arguing or beefing with some of these people. You can only have Cynthia has been more like the mother figure in there, but you can only have so many momajas in the cast. So it's like you can't have too much of that.
So something like the Golden Life that they're doing with Roni.
Yeah, something like that. That is what they need.
I've been saying that they need to do Real Housewives of Atlanta's
and I totally agree with that. If they had sense, they would have picked that up, but they probably wouldn't want to give you the credit, so that's why they don't want to do that.
That hasn't. Oh wait, pause. That hasn't stopped Bravo from stealing other people's ideas, allegedly.
Well, yes, that's also true.
And look, at the end of the day, it's not the most creative idea because they did it with Roni. I think they should definitely do it with Nene, but I don't want them to do it without Kenya Moore.
True. That's true. I want Kenya to be there because they know they had like a spark. They had this certain cast that had a spark. So if they bring a couple of people in there from the old Atlanta and then throw in maybe a few new people that they want to create some new dynamics in there, it would make sense than bringing them into this current Atlanta. For me, I feel like this cast is great, although I have my reservations with a lot of people. I feel the cast is great. I don't know if you saw what was going on online recently about Shamia correcting Andy, what Andy said, and then Portia saying that she was calling Andy a liar.
I just saw someone in the comments say that. What happened? Do you know?
Yeah, so Andy was saying that he met Shamia and George and Gerard at the premiere, and they talked, and it was like the narrative has been that Portia didn't want Shamia on the show, but the other part of it also was that that is not being spoken about so much about is that Gerard didn't want Shamia to film in Sterling Hall on the show. He said in his opinion that's been that was the biggest barrier to him. So that's also another factor. So Shamia corrected him commented on the post, correcting him and saying her husband never had an issue with her filming in their home. He just didn't want to be on camera. And then Portia came on that to say, so you are calling Andy a liar again. You are implying that Andy is a liar again. And writing a lot of different shit. For me, it's either of two things. Because it's either of two things, in my opinion. Portia either just want to paint Shamia as calling Andy a liar to get her off the show, or she just wasn't smart enough to understand clarification from denunciation. Because
could be that. Could be the latter.
Yeah, that's the thing, because Shamia didn't really say that he was lying. She just clarified some part of it. And now it's a battle. And I hope what Shamia is kind of showing is what she comes with next season, because up till now, I think it seems like Shamia hasn't responded to Portia. And then the last post Portia made online about that, it seems like she didn't respond also. So if she keeps paying Portia dust, and now it seems like Portia is the one who is suddenly coming up and up about all the Shamia situation, when she initially said she's never speaking on her again. So maybe we'll see a huge Shamia. I don't know. I would really have preferred, if she leaves. For me, personally, I love that she said what she said about the mother. A lot of people have been saying, that is not good. Yes, the timing was wrong, but for me, the point was not wrong. Because someone said something egregious about your mother, said your mother did this and was bad to her friend, and you held back. So the fact that you want to put out the full story so that it's clear that, there were so many other pieces, that was not wrong to me. The timing might have been wrong and all of that, so I didn't feel like it was wrong. But for me, I just felt like, now that you've done that, just move out of this space, because it's not going to be comfortable for both of you. Go do something else. But if she comes back,
she's doing a perfume. Her and Gerald.
Well, we'll see how that pans out. They just need to do something that they're actually passionate about, rather than just for TV.
I heard it smells like booty.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
I heard it smells like booty. Excommunicado, go get yours today. All right, excommunicado, I gotta get some more callers, but I appreciate you calling in.
All right, have a good day.
You too. Bye. Guys, you're just joining us. We are just doing a special Hump Day Live talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta, the after show. We didn't have a moment. Sorry to those of you that wanted to call in and talk about Real Housewives of Atlanta earlier in the week. But as you know, I'm in the middle of a move, so I've been busy. But we're going to get to a couple more callers, and then I'm going to round out this special live. But thank you to our sponsors. We cannot do this without the support of our sponsors, especially our friends over at MyFitnessPal.
I want to talk to you about something happening in my life right now. And this is usually where my nutrition falls apart. I'm moving. And if you ever moved before, then you already know. Boxes everywhere, kitchen's packed up. And this is where you need to be your sharpest. This is where you need to be your most focused. And the last thing I need is to have my nutrition fall apart. But you get it. You're leaning toward out, whatever's left in the refrigerator or whatever is at your disposal. But I'm doing it a little differently now. And it's at the help of our friends over at MyFitnessPal Premium, their nutrition coach. Look, when I first heard of this, quote, AI coach, I thought it was going to be some sort of little chat bot that's not going to be really helpful. But it's actually a very complete different experience than what I thought. Let me show you. So I just ask it like I'd ask a person, what should I eat before a workout? And it comes back immediately. A small carb-focused snack with a little protein, 30 to 90 minutes before. And it gives me real options with actual numbers. Banana, toast, a jam, Greek yogurt, oatmeal. It even tells me it depends on timing. If I've got 2 hours, eat a fuller meal. If I'm going in 30 minutes, keep it light. But here's where it gets different. See this? Shows me snacks from my recent diary. Watch what happens. It goes into my food, stuff I've actually logged, my matcha shake, my protein bars, the rice and stewed chicken I made. It's not telling me what a random person should eat. It's telling me what I can grab out of my own kitchen. That's the difference. And I can keep narrowing it. What if I'm exercising in 30 minutes? It says, have the shake. It's easy to digest. If I want the bar, cut it in half so it doesn't sit heavy. That's a real answer. Then later that day, this is the one that got me. I typed, I'm way under my protein today. What's an easy fix? And look, it checks my goals and it already knows I logged that matcha shake once today. It says add another scoop for 12 more grams. Then it lays out my options: turkey breast, stewed chicken, cottage cheese, with the grams on every one. And then it does the math for me, adds it up, 109 grams from these, plus the 25 I already logged, puts me at 134. My target is 135. It literally told me I was 1 gram short and offered me a buffer. And when I asked for lower calorie options, it reworked the whole thing: 3 ounces of turkey plus a scoop of shake, 205 calories, 33 grams of protein. Done. Now I want to be real with you. This is not going to replace your nutritionist. As you know, I meet with my nutritionist every few weeks, and I'm still going to meet with my nutritionist. However, my nutritionist is not going to be here while I'm packing boxes or in the middle of a move late at night. This nutrition coach helps make me make easier, healthier decisions that I don't even have to think about. The other thing that I'm loving about MyFitnessPal Premium is the multi-day logging. I'm a Taurus. I am a creature of habit. So there are certain meals that I really do have every single day, like my cassava shake. I already know I'm going to have that today. I'm probably going to have it tomorrow just because it's easy. Well, MyFitnessPal Premium makes it easy for you to do multi-day logging. And that's the point. Life doesn't stop so that you can eat perfectly. We know that better than anyone. There's always going to be a move, a deadline, something, a trip, hopefully. And as I keep telling you, your nutrition is the foundation everything runs on. Your energy, your sleep, your recovery. And the most important thing, like with everything, is your consistency. And MyFitnessPal Premium is helping me stay consistent. Go to podcast.myfitnesspal.com and use code KEMPIRE, all uppercase, for 15% off premium. Especially if you got a chaotic stretch coming up like I do, that's when it matters most. Thanks, MyFitnessPal.
And we're back. Shout out to MyFitnessPal. Again, guys, with our discount, that's $68 for the year, $5.66 a month, 19 cents a day. Shout out to those of you that have been taking advantage of our discount code, KEMPIRE, all uppercase. Guys, time is running out. So if you haven't taken advantage and you've been saying, I need to do this, first of all, the nutrition coach is a game changer. I've been using MyFitnessPal on and off for years, and it's come such a long way when it comes to what it's able to provide for your life. I have so much more that I want to share, especially with this week with me doing the colonoscopy and the tracking of it all. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for more on that. All right. Exactly. Sharkasm says, did y'all get y'all live tickets for the live? Did y'all? Don't forget the Kempire After Dark live show returns to New York City September 25th at the Green Room 42. I look forward to seeing and meeting all of you. But even if I don't see and meet you, you can get a live stream ticket. No matter where you are in the world, you'll be able to be a part of the show. The March 13th show that we just had is now available on Patreon. Join us on Patreon today. If you haven't, scan the QR code on your screen right here. All right. All right. I did want to briefly talk about the story that Excommunicado just mentioned in regards to Shamia, Portia, and Gerald on social media. So I do want to talk about that. But before I do that, be sure to like today's video. It's easy, free way of supporting not just my channel, but other channels as well. You can also hear our live recaps and special episodes on the Kempire podcast. All right. All right. And shout out to our King's Guards, our channel members and subscribers in the chat, and the replay crew. Be sure to let us know your thoughts on some of the hot topics that we talked about, from Perez Hilton to Married at First Sight to Nene's return on Ultimate Girls Trip, and of course, Real Housewives of Atlanta and what's going on over there. And we have a few callers that are backstage that want to share their thoughts as well. All right, let me show you what apparently went down on social media. Shout out to friends at No Chaser TV. Let me go from the side. What is going on here? So, as you can see here, oh, Lord, I need to make this bigger because I can't see. I can't see. I've reached that point in my life. I can't see. Hold on. But you guys can see. And also I'm on my laptop, so that doesn't help. That does not help. So this is what people were talking about in regards to the back and forth between Gerald, Shamia, and Portia online. And I wouldn't have seen it anyway because Portia got me blocked. So Gerald, who I didn't know had an Instagram, says, "It was great meeting Bravo Andy last night. I have always supported my wife and children being on the show as well as them filming in our home. I will continue to support her." Shamia responds to him, "Thanks, babe. Last night was a time." Shamia also said, "My husband has never had a problem with me filming at our home or with our children. He just never wanted to be on the show." Here's the thing. Let me take this off for a second. Here's the thing with that. Based on all of what we've talked about when it comes to Shamia not being on the show, that's been consistent in regards to her saying in reference to Gerald was because he didn't want to be on the show. It had nothing to do with the house. But we're talking semantics here. There's also inconsistency. So was it the fact that Gerald wouldn't film, that's why you weren't on the show? Or was it because Portia didn't want you on the show? Which one is it? I need her to kind of explain some of that. Anyone else? Which one is it? Was it because Portia didn't want you on the show? Or was it because Gerald wouldn't film, so production didn't want you on the show? But now he's agreed to film a little bit. He's still not filming. Let's be honest. He's still not filming. Ooh, Dr. Jen says, "Portia blocked you, laughing out loud, but I blocked Portia fake behind about 2-3 years ago. I clocked her." Oh, well, you know what? I hear that. Not you blocked Portia. All right. But there was more. This is what Portia had to say. Let me throw it back up. Let me go over here. Let me read this to y'all. So Portia says, "Now you're implying Andy is lying for the second time. First, Andy already confirmed that I tried for years to get you on RHOA as a full-time housewife. Second, Andy is saying that the real reason, which hasn't been discussed until now, is that Gerald didn't want you filming in the home. Yet here you are saying that Andy is lying again. You are the liar, already stirring false narratives, shaking my head. Hashtag the real story, hashtag true narrative, hashtag let's go." I think Portia may have misunderstood what was happening here. I don't think Shamia was calling Andy a liar, but I think she was trying to clarify. Look, I think she was trying to clarify. But okay. Look. Just saying. I don't know. Again, I don't think that's necessarily... I don't know. I just feel like it's a reach. And I don't know if I'm really interested or invested in Portia and Shamia fighting next season, when we know, especially because they'll be fighting about something that's even deeper than we even really know, and that's their family drama. But they're never really going to go there, and there's probably never going to be real peace there. Okay. Kurt says, "Of course Portia misunderstood." 265. I think Portia may have misunderstood what was happening. But again, maybe I'm misunderstanding what's happening. LL says, I don't think Portia misunderstood. I think she just wanted to be messy. And some people are speculating that Portia wanted to get Shamia fired. Here's the thing, though. I don't think Andy has been dragged by worse. Nene leaks, and Nene's back at the network. He might never see it for a certain housewife. He may not like certain housewives, like Jennifer Aiden. But Andy's about his money. If someone's going to bring him money, he doesn't care. But Portia's saying that Shamia's comment is saying that Andy's lying. This is the second time she's saying that Andy's lying. It wouldn't shock me that Portia is trying to suck up to Andy because, okay, I'll say this here. I think I said it behind the paywall. I heard during filming of the season finale, Portia was running after Andy Cohen like a puppy dog. Like she had to be next to him at all times. That's what I heard. She had to be next to him at all times. So it wouldn't surprise me that she saw that this is her way of sucking up to Andy, kind of putting it out there. Kempire, you're never going to get unblocked. That's fine. That's not going to stop me from telling the truth. That's the thing. If these housewives get offended by some of the things that I say that I find out or that I truly believe or it's my opinion, so be it. I'm still going to find out the information about anything that goes on with you. I don't care if I'm blocked. I actually find it comical. So what if I'm blocked? I'm still going to see the stuff. Like right now, I'm still going to see the stuff. Dr. Jen says she's in survival mode. Yeah, she got to pay that house. She got to take care of that house. You know? Portia's about playing the game, but a lot of these housewives play the game. So I'm not shocked. All right, I'm sorry. I've gone on and there's at least 4 people backstage that want to share their thoughts. These 4 people will be the last callers that we have for this special Hump Day Live. If you're just joining us or you're part of the replay crew, be sure to let us know your thoughts and opinions on all of these hot topics, okay? You can also hear this on the Kempire podcast. All right, I forgot to say this before, but the opinions of the callers do not represent the opinions of our sponsors, myself, the Kempire LLC, or any future business sponsors, okay? Everything that they say is alleged and of their own opinion, all right? LL says, Kempire, do you think Shamia didn't give her a seat because Portia asked them not to give it to her? I don't think that was it, to be honest with you. I don't think that was it. I think because K. Michelle is there and she is a bigger name, she had a lot of attention, especially on social media. So Soul says that Kempire has been blocked by Better. Exactly. What's her name? Anita Baker. I'm going to get blocked again. She's going to unblock me and block me again. Like Portia did. All right. Let me say thank you. Thank you so much, Bene or Benel? Oh, Benel. Thank you so much for the super chat. We appreciate your support. Dr. Payne, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, yay, I will be team replay. Glad I caught a little. Hey, Ms. Dr. Payne. We appreciate the support. All right. Let's bring up Nicole Crawford next. Nicole, what did you want to share about all these hot topics?
Hi, Kempire. Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. Congratulations on your move. Congratulations. I don't know if this is your first colonoscopy, but congratulations on that as well.
Thank you.
I thought I was going to die through mine, but I did it. Thank God.
We hopefully won't have to do it again for a while.
I don't have to go back until I'm 51 now, so I don't go back till I'm 55 because first time I went was when I was 45, which was recommended. So thank God for that. So I wanted to say thank you so much for talking about the Perez Hilton situation. Yes. I definitely was looking at some of the comments and the replays about the incident that happened on TikTok last night. And I'm gonna say I'm going to applaud a lot of the content creators by encouraging people not to look at it because they were saying that it will affect your mental health. Like they said that the emotions and the things that he was doing, it will definitely. One woman even said she was on live calling the police, and she said she did not sleep the entire night. Wow. So whatever he is going through, it definitely is a really serious thing. I remember his whole history. But it doesn't negate that he's having a hard time and his children have to live through this. So I just want to give some grace there because his children and his mother as well, who was right there with him. So I just want to give grace there. I have not watched the season of Atlanta at all. I've only watched and listened to your podcast and your recaps. I just wasn't that interested. It didn't pop at me. And I think at this point, I'm kind of tired of I'm sorry. I love Angela in her clips. I love her. And K. Michelle has some good ones. But Portia's getting a little tired to me. It seems like it's the same old thing over and over again. But I love your recaps. I'm always going to support that. And also Big Brother. I'm loving that. This season is a really good season. They're really playing the game hard.
It's on tonight, right?
Yes. I'm finishing up my homework so I can watch it tonight.
Who are you rooting for on Big Brother?
I'm not rooting for anybody but the black people right now because nobody has really because nobody's really come out as a front runner. It seems like everybody is trying to fill out where they can fit in, and they're following behind Angela a lot, taking her lead, and I don't like that either because she's really not a leader. She's not a leader.
I'm kind of rooting. I mean, outside of the black people, is it Mallory? I'm kind of rooting for Mallory just because they keep coming for her, and I feel like she keeps saving herself. So I respect it.
Yeah, I respect that too, because she's fighting like a good fight, right? And then she said her last confessional that she was going to have to win. Like she knew she now has to win a head of household so that she could solidify her fate. So I enjoy that part, but everything else I'm not into it. But I appreciate you. Congratulations on the move again, and I'm gonna let you get some rest.
Thanks, Nicole. So I was angry a little bit earlier, but I think the food's settling in.
Well, you're going to probably wake up in the middle of the night a little bit more hungry too, because it's like 3 days like fasting in a sense.
Yeah.
You're going to wake up hungry again.
Okay. Thanks, Nicole.
All right. Talk to you soon.
All right. Kimmy's backstage. We're going to bring Kimmy up next. Kimmy, what's going on?
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing?
Great.
I just wanted to say that I missed most of your recap. I'm glad I caught part of it. And what I wanted to talk about was what I heard. I heard the recap of Atlanta earlier this week. And I thought Atlanta was good, but I wonder if I thought it was good mostly because the last few seasons were so awful. I stopped watching the last couple of seasons. I just started off and I stopped. But I thought this one was good. And then I also just wanted to say that I think that I am not a Shamia supporter, but I do think that in this situation, I kind of support her because I think that she's never, from what I know, said that Gerald was the reason that she didn't shoot. Shamia never said that. I think that's what has been said and probably what is true, or maybe that was true at the time, and that was true at the time, but people change, and he is on camera. I get the feeling he's just shy, so I kind of believe it. And I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be on reality TV either, but I'm happy too that he came out and supporting her because, although I think she's cringe and probably shouldn't do it, I think she still shouldn't do it. It makes me feel better that her husband seems to be so much so in support of that. And this is the second time I heard him mention or it being said that he does support her. So I'm just hopeful for that if she continues this on. But I think that, it's too bad that she wants to. And that's about all.
Thanks, Kimmy. All right. Toya's backstage. We're bringing Toya up next. What's going on, Toya? I'm glad I kept the live going because so many people are calling in now. What's going on, Toya? Toya, I can't hear you.
Hi, Kempire. How are you?
Oh, there you go. What's going on?
Oh, no. Hey, can you hear me? Okay, good. Am I coming in clear?
Yes.
Okay, good. I wanted to say, I think I know why Shamia and Portia have their beef. So I do think that initially, yes, Portia wanted Shamia on the show to be her sidekick and to be her friend and for them to run the show together, right? But remember, when Portia first signed up for the show for season 16 again, she was Portia Gubadia, remember? And she was married and had the big house. And Bravo wanted to focus on the wealth. But a month or so later, she no longer had those things. And Simon put a wrench in her plans to film in that house. But guess who did have the rich husband and the big house? Shamia. And if you go back and look at season 16, episode 1, Shamia's confessional, she's the one that's introducing all the girls and saying how they all know each other. And it's pretty obvious that Bravo put Shamia in the position to be the anchor of the show. She even said, I'm the glue that knows all of these girls. And I really feel like was like, hold on, I brought you in as my friend, and now you're coming in as a number one slot, the number one on the call sheet? No. And I think that she's somebody she's one of those friends who are like, they don't want to see you doing bad. They don't mind seeing you doing good, but just not better than them. And at the time, Shamia was in a better position. She had the number one slot on the show, being the anchor. She got her, they celebrated 9 years last week, and she got the house that's bigger than Portia's. Portia in that big old house now is very nice, but Simon is not paying his alimony. In big houses, a lot of people are house poor. They have really nice houses, and they are very hard to maintain. But yeah, I think that's the breakdown of it. We saw how Portia treated Lauren when Lauren was pregnant. Remember when Lauren got pregnant and Portia was trying to have a baby too, and she couldn't find a man that would have a baby with her? So, like, we saw how mean Portia was to her own sister. We think she was really and truly happy. And I think that she told Shamia, after Shamia was already on the show, hey, you have the Hawks. Housewives is my thing. Because I feel like she realized that Shamia took over her spot. But she got her spot back now. She's the fan fave. She's the network fave. And I think they are going to work overtime to ice Shamia out because Andy clearly likes Shamia. And I think he likes the drama of Shamia and Portia. So I don't think Shamia's going anywhere, guys. Andy likes the drama.
Yeah.
Sorry if I talk too much. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Thanks, Toya. All right. She had a lot of valid points. Toya had a lot of valid points. And if you're part of the replay crew, we want to hear your thoughts on what our callers had to say and what I had to say as well. Let's bring up Jared next. Jared, what's going on? What did you want to share?
Hi, Kempire. Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I had to pause, Big Brother. I'm into it.
Wait,
yes,
Big Brother,
we are rooting for all the black people. It's on right now. Yep, it's 8 o'clock. It's 8 o'clock. I'm going to make it quick.
Once we get to these last couple of calls, I'm getting off of here. Go ahead.
So, Andrew, Mr. Andy Cohen, I need him.
Oh.
I need him to get it together. My man, I know you and Nene had your beef, but at the end of the day, if she did Traitors, she was going to have to see it. She should have been at that event.
Yeah.
She should have been at that event. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now. I think it's my connection. Last point that I wanted to make, this Shamia and Portia of it all. I keep seeing it all over threads. And I feel like two things can be true. Andy said it was because Gerald wasn't filming while she never got a peach. But I feel like Portia, child, back in the day, she was probably like, look, you can come on as my friend, but this is my lane. I'm going to stay over here. You got your football. You got everything like that. I don't think she wanted that girl to be on the show.
I agree. I believe two things can be true. I think there was a period where Portia said that to Shamia, but I also believe there was a point where Portia changed her mind after she solidified her position on the show. And then she's like, now you can come on. But that's my thought.
Okay, I agree with that. All righty. Well, I just wanted to go on and say, hey, share my little 2 cents. I'm at the watch Big Brother, though.
Okay, me too. I'm about to get off of here, too. Thank you for reminding me. Take care, Jared. All right. Ooh, hold on. I'm going to bring up DJ in 1 second. Guys, as I'm doing that, be sure to like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. It's a subscribers only live chat. This is our special Hump Day live post colonoscopy. They told me to take it easy, but here I am on live. Here I is. The doctor's going to be like, didn't I tell you to take it easy? MP Mercury says respectfully, when was Shamia ever the anchor? For like 2 episodes, remember they were all, and I told you guys, I said, hold on, y'all, just wait to see how the season goes. But everyone was saying she's the glue, she was the anchor. She was popular those first like 2-3 episodes, and then it went downhill from there. And I was like, I told you so. I keep telling you. All right, let's bring up Dewan.
How do you? I thought I changed it to DJ, and you still saying Dewan?
Because I know your government.
I know. I love that. How you been? It's a long time no see.
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I had to call in. My job has been ruining me getting a chance to tune in live, but I'm so happy to be back. Can I tell you how I felt? It took me back to being a kid laying on my grandmother's floor watching Real Housewives of Atlanta with Nene on that screen. That little tiny clips. I was like, wow, she knows how to really work the camera. I'm smiling ear to ear the whole time watching. It was great. So I'm excited for that. In regards to Real Housewives of Atlanta, I pray to God that they limit Pinky's screen time in every way, shape, or form next year. I can't stand her. I still can't. I'm like, every other sentence she's crying or talking about money, and then it's like, bro, what are you doing? Shout out to Baltimore, though, because I'm in Baltimore right now. But I'm like, Pinky is having big fun with the wretched. Absolutely. So I don't know. This season has been fantastic. I'm proud of, the producers and all that. I think they've turned it around. And it's just been really, really entertaining to watch. The whole Shamir and Portia thing, to me, kind of ruined it, actually. I'm on the opposite side of that. I'm like, why would you bring a dark cloud? I mean, there's so many other things to argue about outside of, your parents. But that is your reality. So you've got to talk about it. But so good talking to you, Kim Pies. Really, really. I think I've also coming up on like 50 months of being a member or something like that. So
wow.
It's like at 47 or something like that. So
thank you so much for your support.
We've been rocking a long time. I hope you have a good one.
You're one of the OGs. Thank you so much, DJ, for calling in.
See you. Be safe.
Take care. You too. Yeah, shout out to those of you that have been members that long. Some of you are all like in the 40, 50. Like, I understand having a monthly subscription to anything is a lot. So thank you to those of you that are subscribers, members here, and now have joined us on Patreon. I'm just telling y'all right now, Patreon is lit. I'm not getting lit, but I act lit. I might be real lit tonight on this Patreon. Just saying, join the Patreon, hit the QR code on your screen, and join the Patreon today. But if you want real uncensored, you want to hear Kempire cuss, you can also watch that on Patreon because the live show is there. But our next live show, September 25th, will be happening at the Green Room 42. Go get your tickets today. Live stream tickets are available as well. Ticket information is available in the description, or head on over to KempireAfterDarkLive.com/NYC. Okay, did y'all know on Saturday I moved like the entire day, and I still went out and I supported our boys, Pop Roast with Alexander Rogers and C Diggy One. I was still outside, and shout out to all of you that I got to see out there. Shout out to Dustin Ross. I got to see. I hadn't seen Dustin since Summer House Martha's Vineyard season 2 premiere party. So shout out to Dustin. All right. Last but definitely not least, we're going to bring up. Wait, is this V? Hold on, V. I was about to call you by your government.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, here. I'm doing well. I know it's been a while, but I was calling real quick because I don't usually get on anymore. But I just wanted to say real quick, not on anybody's time, on anybody's side, but I think that Portia, because I was a stan of hers for a long time, but I've come to the understanding of how she operates. If you're not around her and feeding into whatever she has going on, you're useless to her. And if you in her space, like Shamia is, and she don't want you to be there, she's going to find a way to get rid of you.
Ooh.
So I feel like Shamia don't want to go after she told her, so she's going to make sure that she leaves, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Shamia is very cringy. I don't really care for her. I wanted to like her. She's not an anchor of a show. I feel like she should just go home and be with her family and do what she needs to do on that end, because it's very cringy. Like, it's over the top cringy for me. But I just think that the friendship was never real. I also want to say, no, it was never real. Shamia said it on Carlos King. I know you don't really watch him, but they said it on Carlos King interview that it was very surface. So it wasn't real. I think they led the audience to believe that it was deeper than it was, but Portia's not that deep. Let's be honest. And then the other thing is, for the Ultimate Girls Trip, I'm very excited. I've been watching reruns. Kiki and
I just did a whole
today.
rewatch of Ultimate Girls Trip before I moved. I did like from season 1 to the latest season.
Yes.
The first two seasons probably were the best.
Yes, I'm watching Stone Manor right now.
That's a good one.
With Phaedra making all them faces. But anyway, I was watching it, and I just feel like I know Nene sued the people or whatever, but I feel like they did her a bit of a disservice, because the ratings are going to go up. Just that little part that they showed so far, like, it was everything. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so I like when the girls are fun like that. She brought out a better side of Portia that's not dark or being a mean girl. Like, that's what we want to see. That's what we're kind of used to on Atlanta. And for the last few years, it hasn't been that. And I just feel like that would have brought more light onto the Ultimate Girls Trip, and would have gave Nene her flowers. Like, pay homage to her if she would have been all throughout. Because Portia is all throughout, but is she going to really get along with these girls? I don't think she's going to bring like Nene would have brought it. Huh?
She's going to play like she does. She already is doing that interview. She's like, we're still on a group chat. We have a good time. I like everybody. She's definitely giving very pageant when it comes to her response to this Ultimate Girls Trip press tour.
Yeah. Nene is the star. She is IT. And you know what I'm saying?
Are
She
you
is
saying
it
that
girl.
Portia is starless?
I won't say she's starless, but
I wouldn't say she's starless. She definitely has star quality.
She is a star, but she's not Nene Leakes.
No, she's not. None of them are Nene Leakes.
Yeah, and I just feel like that would have been a treat to the fans, even if she didn't come back to Atlanta Housewives. Like we would have got some type of closure with Nene, and I think that would have been a good thing for the fans, like a sweet treat, like you gave us tonight. But yeah, so I haven't been on a lot because I've been super busy, but hopefully my days slow down and I'll be back. But yeah, I love you always, and I'm always watching you, even if it's a rerun.
Thanks, V. We appreciate you. Nice seeing you.
Talk to you later.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye. That's a nice way to end today's live. Shout out to V. Shout out to all of our community that have been here a long time. I do love it when you guys check in because there are moments where I'm like, I ain't seen you in a hot second. Like Nelson the Virgo. Nelson, are you coming to my live show? Are you still watching on Twitch? If you're watching the replay, tell us in the comment section. There's certain usernames that I see all the time. People that I met Lauren and Miss Fancy Pants at Alex and Chris's show on Saturday. I met a bunch of people. Ebony, I met over there. So I love meeting you guys. This is what the live shows really are for. Yes, it's me getting up there entertaining you, but meeting the community that has supported the content all this time is even better. It's even better. And I would love to come to a city near you. We'll see. Look, we'll see. All right. Don't ask me any questions about that. I just had a colonoscopy earlier today. I'm still hangry. All right. I did have a nice sandwich after, though. Anyway, thank you to our King's Guards. We could not do this without them. So be sure to show them love and thanks. We appreciate them. Thank you to our subscribers. We appreciate you guys as well. Shout out to our members of the channel. We appreciate you as well. You guys are overdue for your own little lives, so stay tuned for that. Also, shout out to our Patreon baddies. We appreciate you. Join our Patreon. Join our Patreon. This way. Join our Patreon today. Scan the QR code or head on to patreon.com/thekempire. We had a lot of sponsors in today's live. We appreciate our sponsors. They help us keep the lights on. I know it doesn't seem that way because the lights are off, but they help support the channel. So be sure to frequent our sponsors, especially our friends over at MyFitnessPal. You're getting a crazy discount right now, 15% off premium. So many really quality benefits. I've been telling you about when have I ever told you so much about a damn company and in regards to an app? You're learning a lot about the MyFitnessPal app and how it can benefit you. That is $68 for the year, $5.66 a month, 19 cents a day. Go get your premium. Use our discount code, all uppercase KEMPIRE. All right. More information on MyFitnessPal, DraftKings Casino, Vinted, and Factor will be available in the description, and everything else KEMPIRE. So be sure to check that out as well. And check out our website, thekempire.com. There's all kinds of new things. We have our blog there. You can watch our videos there. If you don't want to be in the live chat or if you want to watch the replay, go to our website, thekempire.com, and join the mailing list. I got to work on my mailing list. Stay tuned. Join the mailing list, thekempire.com/join. If you haven't joined, you're missing out because that's where I'll announce surprises, discounts, more things that are coming up. Or if you missed anything because the algorithm isn't showing you, I'll be telling you on our mailing list. Join Kempire's Inner Circle at thekempire.com/join. Again, guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening. I'm going to go watch Big Brother and anything else. I'm going to actually relax for the rest of the evening. I probably will try and go live at some particular point, maybe like 10 p.m. Eastern tonight on Patreon. So scan the QR code. Okay. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Let me go find something to eat. I'm hungry. Talk to you guys later. Bye, y'all. Thanks for tuning in to Kempire, the king of pop culture. Don't forget to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. And for everything Kempire, head on over to thekempire.com.
When you're a maintenance engineer in a beverage manufacturing plant, you keep production lines moving and quality on track because there's no room for slowdowns. With Grainger's vast selection of high-quality motors, sensors, belts, and hard-to-find parts, you can get what you need fast and all in one place, so nothing gets in the way of getting the job done. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Maintenance fee, overdraft fee, minimum balance fee, maximum balance fee. Banking fees are just a part of modern life. Or are they? They're not at Ally Bank. At Ally Bank, there are no tricks, no hidden fine print or jumping through hoops for better rates. They just want to help you save automatically while you spend, with spending accounts and savings tools with great rates. No tricks, no hidden fees, banking built for life today. Learn more at ally.com. Ally Bank, member FDIC.